This is NTA Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. My name is Femi Johnson, and thanks for joining us. 2 policemen involved in extrajudicial killings of 6 traders in Abuja in 2005 have been sentenced to death by an FCT High Court. The case, known as Akpo 6 killings, was resolved by the Chief Judge of the FCT High Court, Justice Ishaq Bello, after 11 years of trial. Judiciary correspondent Femi Okewo reports.
Augustina Arebom and Anthony Nwokeke are 2 of the 6 traders that fell to the bullets of some policemen who were said to have been on patrol on the 7th of June 2005. 4 of their colleagues had earlier been killed in a rain of bullets in their vehicle. Having escaped that incident, Augustina and Anthony were handed over to the police, who took them away and shot them. After 11 years of trial, the FCT High Court has now established that Ezekiel Acheneche and Emmanuel Baba were among those who did the killing. The 3 others charged along with them, Deputy Commissioner of Police Danjuma Ibrahim, who was alleged to have given the orders, Uthman Abdusalami, and Sadiq Salami, were discharged and acquitted for want of evidence linking them to the killing. Even the 2 sentenced to death were convicted on the strength of their confessional statement. And although they retracted later, Justice Ishaq Bello said their retraction was an afterthought. Justice Ishaq Bello had some hard words for the Nigerian police following the testimony of one of the witnesses. A thorough investigation into the killing.
It was not very easy sourcing witnesses because we needed to rely on same policemen, as witnesses in this case, and in many cases they were transferred from outside jurisdiction. Arrangements were made to bring them. So many factors militated against a very speedy and expeditious disposal of this case.
Well, I feel disappointed, I must say this. The very man in question, Ibrahim Danjuma, is not convicted, he's freed.
Overzealousness on the part of our uniformed personnel and impunity in their use of their arms are some of the traits that are in this matter. And the court acknowledged them as such and warned that these traits must stop in the Nigerian society. From the FCT High Court, Abuja, Femi Okewo, NTA News.
The air component of Nigeria's border patrol strategy is to receive a boost, with plans underway to resuscitate the Nigerian Immigration Service Air Border Patrol Unit at the old Kaduna Airport. So the facility said the 3 aircrafts on ground will soon be upgraded as a starting point towards strengthening security at Nigeria's expensive borders. Hamad Ambali reports.
Of the maintenance workshop at the old airport in Kaduna, these pictures tell a story. A tale of aircrafts that once bestrode the skies at the Immigration Air Border Patrol Unit. Wear and tear have set in, leaving a gap further widened by the expanse of Nigeria's borders and the clear and present security challenges they present. General Abdurrahman Dambazao, the Minister of Interior, has received briefs about the situation. He has come, along with the Comptroller General of Immigration, to see what can be done to get the birds back in the skies again.
And I understood that they have engines, some of them new or somehow new. I believe 60% of our job has been done. We need to sit down and look at the 40%. What is that 40%? Fixing those engines into the aircraft, refurbishing them, training more of pilots and engineers, then we're done.
They have to be fitted with modern equipment that allows for night patrol and real-time image capturing and processing. On its part, the Nigeria Immigration Service says it is ready to meet up with the adult's task of patrolling Nigeria's borders.
So this aircraft will be able to patrol longer distance. We'll put our troops in different patrol bases. With a good communication, we can respond to problems as they come.
Talks are underway to get an aircraft service maintainer And depending on how that pans out, the aircrafts may take to the skies sooner than later. From the old airport in Kaduna, Ahmed Ambali, NTA News.
In another development, the flight operations have officially commenced at Kaduna International Airport following the closure of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Chairman of the Relocation Committee, Captain Mohammed Joji, says he is comfortable with the gradual upgrade of the airport to meet international standards. He was speaking on NTA's program, Good Morning Nigeria, along with the Minister of State for Health, Dr. Sage Hanire, among other guests on the development arising from the relocation. Timothy Yusuf has more.
It's the maiden landing of the first foreign airline on the airport this Wednesday. Captain Mohammed Joji explained that it was a pointer that necessary equipment and logistics have been put in place for hitch-free operations.
The new control here to be moved in this morning, just all what you just put it on top of a building. That's all you have to do at the moment. As I say, also all the calibration. I walk around to look at the ILS calibration. The ILS is 3 components. You have the localizer, the straight. They move the airline in a straight line. Then you have the up and down called the glass flow. Then you have a distance, what you call the DME, that allow you the distance to come. All those are in place. The lighting system, all the airport lighting system is excellent. So you can land the aeroplane in virtually low visibility.
The Minister of State for Health, Dr. Sage Hanire, disclosed that adequate measures have been put in place towards winning passengers' confidence. To this end, he says a safety net has been created to meet with any emergency while the relocation lasts.
In case of any emergencies that come up, the Federal Capital Territory will give us 15 nurses. There will be about 11 ambulances deployed in health facilities along the way. We are going to have referral hospitals, both in Abuja and in Kaduna. I have personally visited the Nizamiye Hospital, the National Hospital, and the Federal University of Abuja Teaching Hospital. I've also visited the 44 Army Hospital and the St. Gerard's Hospital in Kaduna to make arrangements for a networking of medical services that will assure patients that they will be well taken care of.
On the part of airline operators, one of them, Saroke Abdullahi Abu, commended government's proactiveness, stressing that safety has no alternative.
The passenger wait for flight. It's not flight that waits for passengers. We are selling time and passengers are buying time. So on the verge of maybe you're on your way coming to Kaduna, there's a problem, you have a delay and you couldn't meet up with the flight. So who takes the responsibility?
The guests are optimistic that the operations will be a huge success. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Meanwhile, there are indications that repair work will soon commence on the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja runway, as equipment are being conveyed to the site. Emmanuel Ayimiro has update on that, and also the movement of passengers by road to Kaduna Airport, which started around 7 o'clock this morning.
As soon as the Abuja airport was shut down against air operations midnight Wednesday, the contractor handling repair works took over and displaced the runway markings, which indicates no more landing or takeoff of an aircraft.
The work that has been done so far is that the runway had been handed over to the contractor, Julius Berger, last night at about 1 a.m. Even if by chance an aircraft is on air and wants to do emergency landing, it cannot be possible because the marking has already displayed that runway is not in use.
Another development is the commencement of the movement of passengers by road to Kaduna. This was greeted with the initial challenge of where the passengers are to go for screening or boarding.
We've already made arrangement that henceforth anybody coming, there will be staff to direct the passengers to the entry point and where they should be seated. So that is not a big deal. We've already taken care of that problem.
From 7 a.m. we started moving passengers from this terminal. Currently, as we speak, we've moved 4 buses, and these ones are waiting now to be moved according to the flight schedule.
For now, movement of air passengers to Kaduna Airport by road is from Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, which many passengers complained is time-consuming. Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
Also, business activities at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, were at its lowest ebb. Today, the airport was deserted following the closure of the runway for repair works. Chukwunansonwa Boeze has the rest of the story.
Premises of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, is usually a beehive. But the reverse is the case now. Barely 24 hours, the runway was closed for repair works. Few businesses that were open for transactions inside the airport terminal recorded little or no patronage from the few air passengers, while some luggage handling firms as well as private taxi operators who make daily earnings at the airport were idle.
Just standing here waiting for our manager to come and give us the further. Just standing here waiting for our manager to come and give us the further directive so that we can know what to do.
However, Saidatu Suleiman, a food vendor who was lucky this day, expressed the fear that she and other small business operators within the airport will be facing the toughest 6 weeks of their lives.
When we reach that place now, we now look at that place. That place, they're very dry, no people there. That is why we say, let us come back to this place and see how it be. And now as we come now, God will help us.
With earnings from business activities within the airport projected to be on the low side within the next 1.5 months, many forecast a huge turnaround when flight operation resumes in the airport. Chukwunansonwa Boeze, NTA News.
Reforming the administration of the Criminal Justice Act of 2015 was the focus at a round table organized by the National Institute for Legislative Studies. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adegunloye reports that issues bordering on rights of defendants, electronic recording of confessions, plea bargaining, and death penalty for pregnant women convicted of capital offenses topped the discourse.
The consensus that some sections of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act of 2015 are obsolete informed this roundtable where legal experts have brainstormed on certain areas which are requiring urgent attention with a view to facilitating through the National Assembly a more effective judicial system.
The issue of arrest, we have proposed amendment here that will insist on investigation, completion, preceding arrest.
What happens if someone is unable to pay compensation? What happens to the person? Do you imprison such a person? I won't punish a convict by terms of imprisonment. What is the yardstick of saying you should pay compensation again? To who?
If you don't have justice and rule of law, you know democracy will not function well.
Capital punishment in cases involving pregnant women drew interesting views, with most agreeing that the life of an unborn child should take precedence over the crime of the mother-to-be.
It's judicial execution of an unborn baby.
Other issues to be discussed are the Companies and Allied Matters Act, Legal Education, the Evidence Act, and climate change. In Abuja, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
The Senator Ken Namani-led Constitution and Electoral Reform Committee to receive useful input has held a public hearing in Kaduna for the Northwest Geopolitical Zone. Stakeholders, including the governors of Kaduna and Katsina states, were among participants. Saliu Abdullahi reports.
It was another platform that provides an opportunity to harvest quality ideas and add value to the ongoing constitution and electoral reform process. In addition to previous suggestions, the call for independent candidates in elections, downward review of age to allow an increased youth participation into elective positions, and conducting all elections in a day dominated views expressed.
We would like to get input from the public regarding the issue of party politics, primaries. A lot of confusion usually caused during primaries.
Kaduna State Governor, represented by the Deputy Governor Bala Bantex, and Governor Aminu Bello Masari of Katsina State, both enjoined the Nigerians to join the vanguard of change and urged Nigerians to use the platform to demonstrate and consolidate on the kind of reforms the country's electoral system requires moving forward.
How much powers do we give political parties? And how much of the internet democracy should we give without removing those powers? In this period of unprecedented technological advancement, we should take advantage of the opportunities technology provides to deepen and widen citizens' participation in government.
To some of the participants, change is critical and inevitable in a big democratic country like Nigeria. The committee members were earlier at the Kaduna State Government House, where they sympathized with the people and government over the security problem in southern Kaduna. Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
You are still on to NTA News Nationwide, and we now join Jennifer in our Lagos studio for more reports that is coming your way. Jennifer, it's over to you.
Thank you, Femi. Good evening and a warm welcome to Lagos. The absence of an interpreter has stalled hearing on the case between the federal government of Nigeria and 4 suspects, including 2 Chinese nationals, arrested in connection with importation of 2 million substandard tires into Nigeria. Amici Pius reports.
The suspects were arrested by officials of the Standards Organization of Nigeria on the 24th of February 2017. The agency, upon investigation, discovered that the tires were substandard and therefore sealed this warehouse in satellite town Lagos, belonging to Sinus Nigeria Limited. When the suspects, including these 2 Chinese nationals, appeared before Justice Moji Olatoregun of the Federal High Court, Ikoyi in Lagos, she stressed that it was important to carry the foreigners along with court proceedings. She therefore adjourned the case to the 20th of March 2017, while the suspects were remanded in police custody. In Lagos, Amici Pius, NTA News.
Members of the Lagos State Judiciary have been charged to maintain a high professional competence and integrity to be able to dispense justice to all manner of people without fear or favor, affection or ill. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode gave this charge during the swearing-in of 3 new judges into the State Judiciary at the State House, Ikeja. Nosa Usula reports.
According to the governor, the State Judiciary over the years, apart from being the busiest and most vibrant in the country, had established a reputation for itself as a trailblazer in the entire federation, with intellectual judicial pronouncements that have stood the test of time at appellate courts. Hence, the new judges must also contribute positively to the advancement of the administration of justice.
We hope to create a more vibrant and qualitative judiciary and justice sector fit for the 21st century and beyond.
Earlier, the Chief Judge of the state, Justice Olufumilayo Atilade, thanked the governor for approving the exercise that led to the appointment of the judges, as well as other stakeholders who contributed in the painstaking appointment process.
Chief Justice of Nigeria commended the Lagos State Judiciary for its productivity, and he told us to continue doing what we're doing.
Responding on behalf of the appointees, Justice Ido Alakija pledged that they would carry out their duties diligently and abide by the code of conduct.
We promise to exercise our duty diligently without fear or favor.
The new judges are former director of the State's Directorate of Public Prosecutions, Ido Alakija, former Chief Registrar, High Court of Lagos State, Olugbemiga Ogundari, and former Deputy Registrar of the Court, Sherifat Sholebo. In Lagos, Nosa Usula, NTA News.
Still on the Lagos State government, Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode has appealed to the federal government to allow his administration reconstruct the road leading to the Muritala Muhammad International Airport in Ikeja area of the state. The governor made the appeal during a briefing with the media in Ikeja after an inspection tour. Nosa Usula again reports.
The governor, who spoke to Government House correspondents at the Lagos House shortly after carrying out an extensive inspection of some critical projects in the state, said the present state of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport Road was deplorable and requires immediate attention to salvage the nation's image.
I'm proud to know the coming governor, the Federal Ministry of Works has been owing Lagos State a total sum of 51 billion naira as reimbursement of efforts and the construction that we have taken here on behalf of the federal government. So obviously what we're asking for is that whatever it is that they want to do on the airport road, the amount can never be up to the 51 billion naira they are owing us. It's only logical that it should even give us part of what they are owing us so that we can complete this construction of the airport road within a time frame of 6 months.
While noting that his administration has fully paid compensation to owners of properties that had to give way for the Oshodi and Ojodu beggar regeneration projects, Ambode also added that the state government has concluded plans to pay property owners at Abuja within the next 4 weeks.
This project will be commissioned as part of our celebration of the 50th anniversary of Lagos State.
Projects inspected by the governor include the Ojudu Beggar Regeneration Project, Abulegba Flyover, and the Aboru Abeson Link Road and Bridge. In Lagos, Musa Usula, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide News on the NTA Network service. It's now time to go back to Femi in Abuja for more reports. Femi, over to you.
Thank you. The economic realities in the nation seems to have done little as different sectors continue to collaborate with federal investment in putting an end to economic recession. The Nigerian Television Authority has been identified as a strategic media partner. It is against this background to the 2017 Nigeria Outlook, an initiative galvanizing incisive economic performance mechanism, is already seeking partnership with the largest television network in Africa. Ado Adomi also reports that the group was at the NTA's corporate headquarters for talks.
The future looks bright for the country as different sectors are working together in supporting government to end the economic recession. The synergy is creating new platforms for diverse contributions from different sectors. The 2017 Nigeria Outlook is an annual publication giving incisive analysis of the ongoing federal government strategies aimed at repositioning the economy for optimal performance. The publisher, during a courtesy visit to the management of the Nigerian Television Authority, seeks collaboration to achieve wider publicity for the annual economic report. The group, led by its president and publisher, Regional Ibe, said NTA is strategic toward driving its initiative.
We have a document that can represent Nigeria effectively in the international community and also communicate the current administration, the policies, programs, and plans very effectively.
The Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, represented by the Executive Director News, Shola Atere, commended the publishers for the foresight. He also commended the federal government effort in battling the economic recession, which is expected to end this year, and pledged to work with the project to achieve the desired objective.
Nobody's going to tell our stories except us. And we need to look at life positively. That's exactly what I presume this project is all about. I'm sure you are aware that the government has said that it wants to end recession this year. Yes. So the project is likely going to make its own impact or contributions, towards achieving that goal of the government, towards ending the recession. So this is a laudable project, and you can be sure that NTA, will collaborate with you.
The challenges notwithstanding, Nigeria remains a prime investment destination in Africa with a large market, diverse natural resources, and vast agricultural potentials. In Abuja, Ado Adamu Also, NTA News.
The economic realities in the nation seem to have done little in arresting the momentum in some key sectors of the economy. Usman Aliyu reports that small-scale businesses are springing up daily in manufacturing and agro-allied sectors to close the gap in unemployment and ensure wealth creation.
A tenacious hand to the plow, with an eye for the emerging theme of beauty. Gloria Agia started this enterprise 2 years ago. Producing durable and beautiful rugs is tasking, but her sweat is slowly turning to sweet with her labor and creativity, creating further employment for 5 more permanent staff and 15 casual workers.
We're making plans when we get registered, certified by SON, to extend to exportation of our products. But for now, our market is basically Nigeria, with most of our clients concentrated in Abuja.
With an estimated 30 million homes and 36 states plus the FCT, Gloria's sector can provide 20,000 self-sustaining jobs in the country. While home essentials are dependent on buying power, taste, and other market variables, food is a must-have for survival, and value addition seems like the way to go. The resilient and savvy Nigerian youth can be trusted to convert concept to life-changing realities.
I started cultivating from my backyard down to the farm now. After the first harvest and the second harvest, we were able to get up to 5 million naira.
Tomato is a vegetable, but in Nigeria's booming agric sector, it is one of the low-hanging fruits.
The varieties of tomato which we produce, you can harvest and keep in a better condition, and it will last for good 30 days, the proper tomato without decomposing.
According to a research conducted by Renaissance Capital, an expert on investment banking, Nigeria's economy is capable of attaining a value worth $1 trillion in 2025. This perhaps is associated with vibrant and attractive market players, with the population and abundant resources as key. Small-scale industries continue to spring up in different corners of the nation, attesting to the determination of Nigerians to eke out the best in spite of challenges. Government says meeting this determination halfway with special programs targeted at boosting small businesses will get the sector moving at more desirable speed. In Abuja, Usman Aliu, NTA News.
Still talking economy, in predicting government's revenue expectations, resource-based revenues may have huge potentials, but the numbers expected from revenue-generating agencies are far more predicted if monitored and collected in a transparent manner. Fisayo Gufuye in this report simply asks, where is government's money?
Development experts agree that while Nigeria's strength in resource-based development is not in doubt, predictable revenue sources remain crucial in funding government's program, while other key sectors are being repositioned for optimal productivity. At Nigeria's main seaport in Apapa, Lagos, the key players say the eagle eye is on monitoring and ensuring that goods and machinery brought into the country attract commensurate tariffs without also compromising on security. Inland, other measures are also in place to boost government's revenue. Sokode Crescent in Abuja is the taxman's crescent. Now, apart from the fresh paint and new buildings, this revenue hub also has some fresh and innovative ideas in helping government realize the funds that will help reflect the economy and, of course, stimulate growth. Now, the National Tax Collector says already it has realized 27 billion naira under its waiver of interest and penalty program, with 2,735 taxpayers applying under the scheme.
What we're trying to do is to make it more convenient, make it more transparent, and in that respect, if a client wants to pay taxes and we offer that client the opportunity of using technology to make those payments, first of all, it will reduce the level of audits that is required on an annual or biannual basis. It will also make it easier for that taxpayer to make payments. It will also leave a trace, a track, a record for anyone who wants to confirm whether payment has been made or not.
While predictable revenues have been tracked and potential revenue sources encouraged, experts say a prudent and creative use of government funds in key sectors of the economy should see the Nigerian economy bouncing back. In Abuja, Fisayo Gufu, NTA News.
Similarly, the solid mineral sector is another key area of focus in the economic diversification drive of government, where potentials is to be matched with action. Nnamdi Odikpo reports on a critical tool used by the federal government to overcome development challenges in the sector, and this creates an alternative source of earning for Nigeria.
The steady thrust of meta into the ground makes a repeated thud that somewhat reinforces the tenacity of these workers. Artisanal miners recruit tools but seemingly flute coordination bent on reaping the fruits of their labor from the earth. The operations of these small-scale players not only hinge on illegality, but have also impacted negatively in the expansion of the solid mineral sector.
What we need to do actually is to make sure that government prioritizes the solid mineral sector, and we have enough data to show people that we have enough potential so that we can attract the big players.
The country's huge potential in solid minerals has never been in doubt. Nigeria is endowed with massive mineral deposits with at least 44 known mineral assets spread across the Federation. But based on current data, Nigeria's solid mineral sector contributes a paltry 0.34% to the gross domestic product. A move by the current administration to turn the tide informed the development of a blueprint which targets a 5% increase by 2017 and a double-digit increase by 2020. The success of government's blueprint derives from sustaining active participation of big and major players in a sector that promises impressive returns.
Some reforms have taken place. They've not been deep enough. We need to deepen them, particularly in terms of the regulatory and legal framework. Finally, to ensure that we make resources available to players in this sector, because it's a capital-intensive sector.
In many ways, the blueprint is a major lifeline. The development initiative promises to breathe life into moribund establishments like the National Iron Ore Mining Company, Itakpe, Kogi State. When facilities like these are revamped and greater interest generated in other areas of solid minerals exploration, the impact on revenue generation and employment would be huge.
We're preparing for the next boom, and the way we want to do that is to focus first on industrial minerals, which we have in abundance in Nigeria.
But there's still a long and hard journey ahead until concrete and positive changes take root in the sector. And perhaps government realizes it needs to make critical and sometimes difficult decisions to succeed. In Abuja, Nnamdi Odikpo, NTA News.
And this is NTA News Nationwide. We now go over to Makurdi for more reports with Susan. Susan, take it away.
Thank you, Femi, and welcome to Makurdi. Issues of women empowerment, marginalization, and their rights once more came to the fore during a series of activities organized in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, to mark International Women's Day. Grace Ichekwa has the report.
The role women play in the society cannot be overemphasized. Despite this, many analysts feel women are neglected, subjected to domestic violence, discrimination, and suffer gender inequality, among others. It is to address some of these issues that the United Nations set aside 8th of March every year to highlight issues affecting women and how to tackle them. The day in Benue State, women gathered in their numbers for a silent walk from Kulov Park to the J.S. Taka Foundation, Makurdi, to create awareness and mobilize others towards their advocacy. The wife of the Benue State Governor, Dr. Eunice Otom, who participated in the exercise, said, "Women have contributed significantly to the economic growth of the country, hence the need for them to also occupy their rightful place in the scheme of things in the country." She urged women to see themselves as agents of change in the society to make the world a better place.
If you feel comfortable with where you are and who you are, that is not an achievement. You can only achieve something significant or great when that talent you have translates in another person's life.
The wife of the Deputy Governor, Justice Mary Abonu, and the program's manager, Unispring of Life Foundation, Jeanette Saloma, in their separate remarks, urged women to have positive attitude to enable them achieve their desired change. There were paper presentations and goodwill messages during the event. The theme of this year's event is Be Bold for Change. In Makurdi, Grace Ichepa, NTA News.
Taraba State University has matriculated 2,500 students for the 2016-2017 academic session, with an appeal to the students to be agents of positive change through hard work and obedience to constituted authority. Joseph Saundu completes the report.
Established in 2012, the Taraba State University has continued to provide education and developmental programs for the progress of students of the institution and development of the state and Nigeria. The matriculation of 2,500 students for the 2016-2017 academic session is another step towards its tenets of educating the society. After the matriculation, the university also witnessed the assumption of duty of its newly appointed Vice-Chancellor, Professor Vincent Ado Tenabe, within the same week. Professor Tenabe, while addressing the management staff of the institution, says he will ensure high academic standard, improve welfare of students and staff, facilities, as well as encourage quality programs that will uplift the young university.
I will do my best to ensure that students' needs in terms of academics and welfare and their well-being are met.
The Taraba State government has of recent challenged the university to raise its academic standards, pledging to support the institution stand among the best in the country. In Jalingo, Joseph Saundu Oten, NTA News.
That's our package from Makurdi. It's back to Femi in Abuja for more on NTA Nationwide.
Thank you, Susan. You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. More news will be coming after this time out.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop or feed in ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains, Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
Originally, I don't carry myself like this. I don't turn agent.
Why has one of the world's friendliest occupations become such a nightmare in the hands of some people?
You be talk of town. Say now you be the latest agent we dey in town now.
Why has the circle of lies become the smartest thing?
You go give me 3 bay first. That one for consultation fee.
Here.
You give me another 2 bay. Now finding fee with the column.
Here.
You give me 1K.
Are we going for excursion?
That one for the excursion fee. You too sharp.
Professor John Bull, this week's episode of your rib-cracking comedy, Estate Agent.
Come on, this thing with me like shrine address for inside my hotel. The person where they teach me this job, the person you all know. You all what? You all pass me? Where president is Tasso Rock. Now I buy him.
And showing at 8:30 p.m. every Tuesday and Friday on NTA Network, International, and Star Times.
Over and out.
Brought to you by Glow.
Welcome to the new speed of life.
NTA Television College, an affiliate of Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, a specialized institution charged to provide quality professional education in television production, engineering, and journalism. The college is offering 1-week intensive course in advanced management techniques for executive officers, CEOs, COOs, managers, and heads of admin. Date 13th of March to 17th of March 2017. Registration 20,000 naira. Another 4 weeks course on principles and practice of marketing for marketing heads in radios and television houses, public relation agencies, media heads in advertising, brand support managers, media brokers, and heads of corporate affairs. Date 20th of March to 14th April 2017. Registration 100,000 naira with accommodation. All courses will take place at NTA Television College Rayfield Jos. For more inquiries, call 08069809807 or call 07036607155 or email us at ntacollege@gmail.com. NTA Television College, training you to be the best you want to be.
When Ogenekume Pillar Egona was just 6 years old, she was diagnosed with cancer of the bone.
When I bumped my leg, I started to feel better, but my parents told me it was cancer.
I was shocked because it's something I couldn't imagine.
Her parents had to make a choice that would affect their daughter's future forever.
On the Sports Parliament this week, the 2017 Confederation of African Football presidential election will be held on 16th March in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, with incumbent Issa Hayatou from Cameroon and Madagascar FA chairman Ahmed contesting. The elections are held every 4 years, and 70-year-old Hayatou has been in the position since 1988. Ahmed, the 57-year-old who is in his third term as head of the Madagascar FA, is seen as a dark horse, but he has built a solid base. The continent waits with bated breath to see which way the pendulum will swing. Sports Parliament, keeping abreast with sporting issues as never before.
I don't want to remember the things that I do sometimes. Your love is scattering my brain. Eh?
You don't chop a crocodile before?
You don't go market. Take your eye to catch very big fish.
You stuck in the middle, yeah. Come on now, yeah. You don't stuck for me, yeah. Yeah, man,
You're still on to NTA News Nationwide, and some residents of Abuja have held an interfaith special prayer session seeking God's intervention for the well-being of President Muhammadu Buhari, as well as for the growth and development of the country. Hakim Aliu has details.
Both Christians and Muslims found a common ground to request divine intervention for the health of President Muhammadu Buhari, who they said means well for the country.
Lord, and I know you are the best and the greatest doctor. Heal our president and bring our president back alive.
Those who wish the president sick or dead, oh Allah, forgive them, they are ignorant. Allah return him back to this nation peacefully, in good health, make him strong.
Convener and chairman of AMAC, Abdullahi Adamu Candido, urged all and sundry to do same as God answers prayers of those who ask.
Nobody can salvage this country except we. And so we can truly effect change in this country through prayers.
Looking up to God for solution in all affairs of man, the participants said the prayer is a demonstration of love for their leader and the country. Prayer is a spiritual force and express link to seek God's intervention. For all present at this prayer session, they believe Nigeria will soon heave a sigh of relief from all its challenges. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
Good governance and citizenship will bring back a value system to emphasize corruption and other vices. This is the view of members of Senior Citizens Advocacy of Nigeria on NTA's current affairs program, Moment for Thought.
Boggling how people want to carry so much money, so much wealth belonging to the nation, and snooker for their own individual or self.
Our passion is to see a better nation.
Moment for Thought comes up tonight at 10:30 on NTA Network Service.
The monarch added that they took the airwaves to the admiration of Edo's home and abroad.
NTA has of course proven itself over the years to be the foremost news channel, news TV station in Nigeria. We are very appreciative. We also hope you keep on, as you have assured us, keep on giving us good exposure.
While assuring of his support
in worry on the sighting of the Maritime University. Steve Lonai Nwakolo has the details.
Members of the Niger Delta Alliance for Equity and Justice, in solidarity with the Omadino community, outlined 3 major issues that are agitating the mind of the Omadino community of Ishekiri extraction in Warri South local government area of Delta State. They include the proper naming of the host community of the proposed Maritime University from Okerekoko to Okeregigo, the earnest commencement of the construction work of the university, and the recognition of the Omadino community as the landlord of the proposed Maritime University as held by the Supreme Court judgment in 1970
in some states of the Federation.
In Port Harcourt, All Progressive Congress APC women in River State marked the day with the pledge to support the efforts of the wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, on gender development and promotion of children. Kingsley Almajiri reports that the women presented household items to the prison inmates. And from Mina, over 3,000 women received various empowerment tools, which are expected to assist them on improving their standard of living.
The opportunity to reflect on what your life has been like and how you can change it for the better. Once a woman is literate, there is no limit to the skills she can acquire.
And in Ondo State, Doris Olumoko reports that the wife of the state governor, Betty Anyaun Akeredolu, challenged women.
Take it away.
Very much, Femi. Good afternoon and welcome. National integration and unity amongst the diverse ethnic nationalities was the rationale behind the establishment of the National Youth Service Scheme. But against the current feud, misunderstanding and agitation between people of various groups, is the scheme worthwhile?
At all times and in all places. At all times and in all places. Think. Regard myself. And speak first. As a Nigerian.
Immediately after the Nigerian Civil War in the 1970s, the then military head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, came up with various programs for national integration to forestall agitation of secession by any segment in Nigeria. One of such is the National Youth Service Scheme. Through the system, many Nigerian youths who have graduated from the tertiary institutions have the benefit of traveling to other parts of the country, different from their biological habitation, a development that has made it possible for many to secure jobs, engage in intertribal marriages, and reside in their service states, like the Kaduna-based legal practitioner Daniel Nwelu, who hails from the southeastern part of Nigeria.
I'm from Anambra State. I was posted to Kaduna, and I came to Kaduna. But I can tell you freely, when I came to Kaduna, Kaduna was very, 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 very peaceful.
Aside national integration, the NYSC also exposes the Nigerian youths to various entrepreneurial skills targeted towards making them employers of labor after their passing out.
But now the NYSC has come up with its own department on skills acquisition. So we give our support where it's necessary.
Brigadier General Suleiman Zakari Kazore is the Director General NYSC.
In our policy, you are not, a co-member is not allowed to serve in your state of prison, talk less of your local government. You have community development service. The co-members are always transforming the host community.
The President, Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association 1 Division Chapter has pledged continued support to the wounded soldiers who are fighting insurgents in the northeast of the country. President of the association, Florence Oyebade, stated this while donating some materials to soldiers who sustained injuries in the front line at the 44 Army Reference Hospital, Kaduna. Ahmed Umar Kudan has the details.
The donation is part of the humanitarian service rendered by the association towards the rehabilitation of soldiers who sustained various degrees of injuries in the course of fighting insurgents in the country. The President, 1 Division Chapter of the association, Florence Oyebade, said the association is concerned about the wounded soldiers, hence the need for the donation to alleviate their suffering.
We need to serve the society, and the society that has made us, we need to give back to them too.
Director 44 Reference Hospital Kaduna, Brigadier General Ikechukwu Okeke, appreciated the association for the gesture.
We greatly appreciate this, and this will go a long way towards assisting them in their recovery process. And I'm sure it will boost their morale and make them to feel that people are concerned about the difficulties they are passing through.
Items donated include 10 wheelchairs, 30 crutches, and 3 stretchers. The Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association is a non-profit and non-governmental organization that is working to assist less privileged members of the society through skills acquisition, among others. In Kaduna, Ahmad Umar Kudan, NT News.
And that's how far we can go with Kaduna, as Talatu Ezereke said with Global Tidbits.
Nation's representative in South Sudan has drawn attention to the need for leaders in the country to provide good governance in order to uplift the people's standard of living. Similarly, Kenya Medical Association has appealed to government and doctors to meet one last time in an attempt to end a 3-month-long strike. This comes as Ethiopian government dismissed claims from a rebel group that hundreds of people have died from cholera in past few days. Also, Poland has threatened to derail EU summit at its attempts to block the re-election of Donald Tusk as president of the European Council. From Syria, U.S. sent several hundreds Marines to support an allied local force to capture rebel stronghold of Raqqa. And reports say that Turkey's deputy ambassador to Switzerland has claimed asylum to remain in the country for fear of persecution. That is all on Global Tidbits. Talate Zerike, NTA News.
Tamara Biwe is also set for sports update.
Nigeria Super Eagles maintained their 7th position in Africa and 41st in the world, according to the latest FIFA ranking released Thursday. Egypt lead on the continent, trailed by Senegal, Cameroon and Burkina Faso, while Argentina top the world with Brazil, Germany, Chile and Belgium occupying the top 5. Team Nigeria departed the nation Thursday for Cotonou, Benin Republic, where they will battle oppositions from Ghana, Togo and host in the first phase Africa Zone 3 World Beach Volleyball Championship qualifiers between March 10 to 13th. The contingent, made up of 8 athletes and the national coach Kayode Ajilore, is optimistic about doing the nation proud in the qualifiers.
We are pushing and training the players to make sure that they do well, so anywhere we go, anywhere in the world, we can be able to make Nigeria proud.
In line with its mandate of integrating Taekwondo at the grassroots, the Chika Chukwumerije Sports Foundation midweek in Abuja organized a one-day world-class referee workshop aimed at equipping participants with the current rules and regulations of the...
And that's how far we can go to on sports. This is NTA Nationwide. We thank you for joining us. Do join us for more reports after this time out. That will be coming up in our subsequent bulletin. Good afternoon.